everybody, and welcome to the Derek Ruby Show. I am your host, the previously mentioned Mr. Ruby, and this is Remembering Bobby the Brain Heenan. The professional wrestling world just lost one of the greatest stars it's ever had. Raymond Lewis Heenan, better known as Bobby the Brain Heenan, unfortunately passed away on September 17th, 2017. Many people call Bobby the Brain Heenan the greatest wrestling manager of all time, but I would take it a step further. Bobby the Brain Heenan was not just the greatest manager of all time, he was the greatest overall performer in professional wrestling of all time. If Bobby Heenan had been 6'4", he probably would have been as good, if not greater, than Ric Flair. And that's not a knock on Flair. Flair would probably tell you that himself. Bobby Heenan could do it all. He could commentate. He could manage. He could take bumps in the ring like Mr. Perfect or Dolph Ziggler. I would go as far as to say, if you are a person who is interested in entertaining people, whether it's in wrestling, television, YouTube, watch Bobby the Brain Heenan, and you will learn a lot. Just watch him, watch the little nuances he does, and just listen. You can go back and watch Bobby the Brain Heenan's appearances on shows like Dennis Miller, Arsenio Hall, and other talk show hosts, and they'll throw these quick one-liners at Bobby, and he's so quick-witted, he just throws them right back and makes the host laugh. You would think he was hosting their show. And most of these clips are available on YouTube. A lot of the younger fans may not realize how important Bobby the Brain Heenan was to the entire wrestling industry. He was part of one of the biggest main events in wrestling history, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant, and he was Andre's manager, and he played his part and was very central to the story. And for a long time, that 93,173 people that were in the Pontiac Silverdome was considered to be the biggest card in wrestling history, and he was central to that card. It would be very hard for me to sit here and tell you that I was not influenced by Bobby the Brain Heenan. I have many influences on my life, but I was watching Bobby Heenan in the 80s on WWF Primetime Wrestling with Gorilla Monsoon. I watched him throughout his entire run in the WWF, and I also used to watch him on WCW Monday Nitro when he was the commentator on that show. When Bobby Heenan was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame back in 2004, he gave one of the greatest acceptance speeches I've ever heard. The thing about Bobby is he knew how to be a heel. I'll try to stay away from the wrestling speak a little bit. The thing about Bobby is he knew how to be a bad guy. He knew how to invoke an emotion from the crowd. He knew how to get the bad guys over he was managing without stealing all the spotlight for himself, and he also knew how to get the good guy over that his bad guy was fighting, because at the end of the day, Bobby the Brain Heenan knew his role and he knew how to play it. I would highly suggest, if there are any aspiring wrestlers out there, go back and listen to a lot of Bobby the Brain Heenan shoot interviews where he talks candidly about things, just about his performance and how he did stuff. A lot of those lessons would still apply today. If you just want to be in the entertainment world, go back and watch Bobby's body of work. I'm sure it will inspire you. Guys, forgive me, I know Bobby the Brain Heenan worked in the AWA and many wrestling territories, but it would take me hours to cover his entire body of work and all the accomplishments he's done. The fact of the matter is, Bobby the Brain Heenan had a star that burned bright like no other. Unfortunately, Bobby has been fighting a battle with throat cancer since about 2002, and because the cause of death hasn't been released yet, I don't know if he actually lost that battle. He will be sorely missed by many, many fans and many, many people. I know I, for one, will miss Bobby the Brain Heenan. So thank you, Bobby the Brain Heenan, for all that you have accomplished and all the great memories that you've given me and all the fans personally. I really hate making these kind of videos, guys. It always sucks when somebody that was great dies. So thank you guys for listening to the Derek Ruby Show. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. And as always, have a good one. And I'll see you guys next time.
You listen to me, you go to the top. You don't listen to me, you're never heard from again.